Hey besties, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stels. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. Today we're going to talk about something, right? Hmm, hmm. First of all, like this video before you even watch. Just click on the like button. Click on the like button, guys. Just help me. Help me. Today we're going to talk about marriage. Hmm. I'm not a counselor, disclaimer, but marriage after relocation. You know, family life after relocation, especially if you're coming with kids. I'm not talking about the single guy and the single girl now. I'm talking about you coming with kids or you coming with your spouse. Eh, You have to start the work from Nigeria. A lot of Nigerian women have helps, like they have maids, helps, house help, nanny. I don't know what name you want to categorize them, but they have people who assist them in the home. Even don't even some don't even have the people that are living with them. They have people that come and go. They have cleaners that come and go. They have day nannies and all whatnot. So living in Nigeria is comfortable because you have access to this cheap labor. You can't try it here. You have to plant it in your head because some people it's like they don't plant it. They just come here and the reality hits them. And some are going into depression. Some are having issues with their spouse. Some are not able to handle it all. Some are contemplating on going back. Some are actually contemplating on, importing helps from Nigeria. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that actually. So how do you start? Like, okay, you know that probably when you just get your PR, let there be a discussion on the table. Not pet peeves. One of my flaws is washing plates. I can leave plates unwashed till the next day. My mom hates it. My mom believes that every time you wake up in the morning, you wake up to a clean kitchen. That's my mom. If my mom leaves a plate unwashed overnight, that means she's exhausted. So she always believes in waking up to a clean kitchen. And why me? I'm like, I can wake up and wash the plates now, right? So why would I kill myself when I'm tired at night? So the point I'm trying to raise is you have to reorientate yourself that okay, in this environment I'm going to. My nanny's name in Nigeria was Vera. There's no Vera that would go to market for me. There's no Vera that would prep the veggies for me. There's no. I used to cook all my meals myself, but she used to help me prep them. There's no Vera that would wash the fish for me. There's no Vera that would bathe my child for me. Everything has to be done between myself and my spouse. Okay, so while I believe that while you are still in Nigeria, if there are some things that you usually leave for the nanny or help to do, begin to do them small by small. If there are some things that your husband did not used to do at all, let him try and be doing it small by small. So that now it's not when you land here after he promises you that, honey, don't worry, when you land, I will assist you. See, this amount is sweet though, but the cocoa is the action, right? He can promise you that, honey, don't worry, when we land, I will help you. And she needs to wash the bathroom and the toilet. There are some heavy duty work that some ladies don't like to do, like washing of bathroom and toilets. So I know some people that don't even do it. They rather outsource it to some people to come and clean it. So if that's your area of concern, you can speak to your spouse about it. So there has to be, it doesn't have to be like, bam, is you that wash plates, is you that would sweep house. No. Let us try to, how will I put it, read our body languages. I don't know if it's the way I myself and my husband live, but I don't have to tell him that, babe, I beg, help me wash plates. Sometimes I do if I feel like I'm overwhelmed. But sometimes he just sees that, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. Okay, he can do this, right? Just to lift the burden off me. But then again, let me backtrack. Some men are not like that. Some men are not, they don't see that, right? So if it's a thing for you to be outspoken about it in a polite manner. See, hmm, people come to Canada and marriages dissolve. Oh. If you don't know it, know now. It can start from these small, small things, but I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple, like, I don't mean I've seen a couple husband. I've seen a couple of marriages that have dissolved barely 2 years in Canada. And sometimes I'm like, what happened? What went wrong? Like, how did this just change? Apart from chores, because chores seems to be like the basic thing everybody talks about. Finances too. Hmm. If you're a woman in Canada and you realize that you cannot go 2 weeks without making your hair, You can't go 2 weeks without buying orishirishi, you know. And in that situation in Nigeria, you are earning, like you're a boss lady, or maybe your husband was always giving you allowances. And you come to Nigeria and things are not like that. And you come to Canada, things are not like that. Maybe you've not gotten a job, or maybe your husband is the sole provider, or maybe you are the sole provider. You need to re-strategize. See, a lot of things has to be reviewed. So you don't want to run into debt. You don't want to start, using one credit card to pay another credit card. You don't want to be in that situation whereby you're running into countless debts, right? So how do you go about it? How do you cut your coats according to your cloth, right? You just have to plan with your spouse. There should not be anything hidden. Some people today don't even know how much their spouse actually earn here in Canada. To me, I'm like, why? When your bills are like monthly, you have to pay for rent, you have to pay for internet, you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. So why will I not tell my spouse, or why will my spouse not tell me how much he earns? How do we intend to plan to make to pay up these bills? Do you understand what I'm saying? So there should be communication. um no one has the best marriage, at least no one that I know. Even my parents self, that to me I used to hold their marriage like gang. They quarrel. Sometimes they quarrel about the most irrelevant of things, but yes, they do quarrel. If you don't start that reality from Nigeria, or for example, you have grown kids and they're not doing anything, you feel like, oh, when they land there, they'll start doing it. It's not true. If you have grown kids, let them begin to wash plates, let them begin to do small things, so that when they land there, you are not going to be the talk of the town, right? The owners start, telling their friends that, see, my mom is giving me hard labor in the house, because it's not as if it's a new thing to them anymore. See, in Canada here, in my canteen, if you see, I love Indians, so I love Indians. If you see the way the aroma of their food used to enter my nose when I'm in the canteen, because a lot of times they make homemade food. Rarely will I see an Indian going to McDonald's. Just once in a while, maybe they want to just um eat pizza or something like that. But most of them, they come with their lunch box, they come with their lunch bag, and they come with homemade food, right? The point I'm trying to derive from that is, eating out in Canada is very expensive. Eating out in Canada is very, very expensive. So if you are a wife and you feel like, or if you're a wife, like for example, working in, like I was working in Nigeria, and you rarely take food to work and you're always buying out, you have to reorientate yourself here. I don't know if, see, honestly, I don't know how people do it, because just buying a burger and Coke and maybe small chips is just like $14, right? Imagine you buying a big one, or buying two burgers and spending close to 20 something thousand, there's 20 something dollars daily on just snack. Breakfast no join, dinner no join, on just snack. That means in a week you're spending over $100 on just snack. So it's very, very it's very, very important that you don't play with that. Eating out here is very, very pricey. Or you want to go and buy Chinese, or you want to go and buy what do you call this thing, shrimp noodles. Those are the ones I know. Those are the ones that when me and my husband want to quickly go and do 1 or 2 dates, that's what we used to eat. But it's very pricey. Then disciplining of children. Disciplining of children is important. I mentioned in one of the previous videos that it has to start from Nigeria. It doesn't have to start from here. Um, I've seen situations where uh, people disclose certain things they shouldn't disclose about their families to third parties, and before you know, they start calling social security, social services. Please, you don't want to be in that situation. Let your children understand how it's important to keep things within the family. It starts from Nigeria. It doesn't really start from here. If you're here already, don't feel like, oh, it's too late. You can actually start that here as well. Another thing I want to talk about is see, African men, Nigerian men. This is the time to get handy. Like, you know how you're in Nigeria now. If you need something, you call Mukaila, you call Matthew, go and do this one for me. Fix this broken chair. Fix this. See, here in Canada is DIY. A lot of DIY stuff is not really done by the husband alone. So Nigerian women and African women, also open your ear. So here you have to be handy. If not, you're going to spend a lot of money. You're going to spend a lot of money. I remember my neighbor had some plumbing issues. Oh man. See, you have to be very handy. You have to be very, very, very handy. It's very important. If not, a lot of these handy jobs, performed by handymen, they charge per hour, and they don't charge small money. So it's good to actually learn some of those things yourself. So how do you spice up your marriage? Be your partner's friend, right? They should not be, how will I put it, communicate when you're in Nigeria, because it's more like when I see some people, they don't even want to go home. I'm like, why don't you want to go home? Like from work, they are hanging out with their friends, and these people are married people. You know, from work they're hanging out with their friends and their spouses at home. I'm like, when I close from work, I don't feel like hanging out with friends. I feel like going home because I have a friend at home, right? So some people don't feel like that, and I understand why. Because in Nigeria, they live that kind of life that, oh, my work, hang out, then go back to the house. Please, it's not like that here. You will spend money unnecessarily when you're not supposed to. You know, if you're driving, you're going to burn fuel where you're not supposed to, or burn gas where you're not supposed to. Try as much as you can to communicate so that your children will not grow up in a house that mommy and daddy don't talk. Like I don't I don't know how that works. Like, here there's really nothing outdoor happening. So you're stuck in the house together. This is more like secondary COVID. You're stuck in the house together apart from going to work and coming back. So and going to buy groceries and coming back. You're here. Or like in Nigeria whereby, oh, your husband can go and hang out in the barbing salon or at a bar or something. So it's good to communicate, create that bond. Another thing I want to talk about is ladies, let the man try. Let the man try. See, when I was pregnant in Nigeria, I did not know how to make ogi. It was after I had my baby, I had to force myself to learn how to make ogi. It was my husband that was always making ogi for me. My husband can cook beans. That's his specialty. But there was one time he made one beans for me. Hey God. No, no, sorry, one pap for me. I wanted to complain, but I held it in. So that's what that scenario is what I want to paint to you. Let them try. See, no one gets it perfect the first time. Don't even if you want to complain, let it be mild or let it be like a joke. Some people take certain things serious. He might do something and he might give a negative feedback and he'll stop doing it. If he does something, kudos. Well done. However, in a joking manner. So that's the point I'm trying to raise. Um, appreciate one another. There should be open communication. Please, finances, talk about finances. What are your plans? See, that finances is very important. Your spouse might have a different plan than you. Your spouse might want to go and use the money you save for, if you have saved for 6 months, to go and buy a Grand Cherokee, while you are looking at you need to pay down payment of a house. So two of you have to come to an agreement, especially if it's one person that is earning, or even if it's two of you that is earning. So they have to be like a financial goal. What is the goal? What are you people saving towards? Your husband might have an idea that you want to buy a Grand Cherokee. You might have an idea that you want to pay down payment. Some of you might even decide and say, okay, I want to buy a car. But your own mentality is, let's go and buy Facebook Marketplace to Kumboka. While your husband is saying, no, you have to spend money and go to a dealership and buy a brand new car so that we don't have to be paying for repairs and everything will be covered under warranty. So those are two divergent opinions, but you still have to come. They say you disagree to agree. You still have to come to an agreement. That is why it's good to have open communication between yourself and your spouse. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I believe there are so much more, but these are what I can say from the short while I've been here in Canada. Married couples, please put in the comment section what do you think you can advise people relocating to Canada, and those already here, how they can better off their marriages, and how you think that certain things can help put their marriages in place and avoid the things that we've been hearing about, how people relocate to Canada and or relocate abroad and scatter their marriages. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I expect to see your comments in the comment below. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.